Alright, final match. We're on the draw. We got a lot of bolts. We got a threat. We got a tormenting voice to fill up our graveyard for mandrills, and our opponent mulligan, so I'm going to keep. And they put a card on the bottom. And let's see what they lead off with. Oh my goodness, the Insolent Neonate Mirror. This is going to be good. Alright, so assuming this is an opposing Madness deck, Neonate is good to get off the table before they have mana available, because as early as next turn they could play a Blood Mad Vampire, for example. And right now they only have Basking Root Wall they could cast off of it. Let's see. I don't mind taking a little bit of damage from Neonate first and saving my mana for, or saving my removal for better stuff. So I think I'm just going to lead Evolving Wilds here. Go ahead and get my forest. Additionally, if they play a second creature, I could just go get another mountain so I can Lightning Axe plus Lightning Bolt next turn, but that seems unnecessary. Lava Spike our face. Okay, so we're playing Burn that's playing Neonate as a creature of choice. That's weird. Okay. I guess it turns a late game forest into a mountain, and it's kind of like a Goblin Fireslinger, and then it gets in for 1 damage a turn most turns. Alright, I'm playing Mongrel here because they basically have to get rid of it. Although I guess they can't really, because I can just discard 2 cards, but I probably wouldn't discard 2 cards to protect it right now. Although that does make Mandrills better. Oh well. We'll have to wait and see first if they try to remove it before I have to have my decision about whether to try to save it. Keldon Marauders as well in this list, okay. Down to 2 cards in hand. So we need to find a way to get enough of a threat against them. What to do? Well, I really would like to not take damage from the Keldon Marauders. So I want to Lightning Axe that, probably. And what will I discard? Probably the other Lightning Axe, because they don't have that many creatures in the list, presumably. So let's start off with that. Get this out of the way so we can attack. That puts us to 3 cards in graveyard. So I could potentially discard 2 more to the Mongrels to get in for 2 more damage. And also be able to cast the Mandrills this turn to try to speed up my clock zone. I think that's fine with me. I can get rid of Tormenting Voice and a Worm. Yeah, that seems fine. The only problem is if they decide to bolt my Mongrel, then I'll have to keep on discarding to it. And I don't really want to have to discard bolts to it, but I think I'm willing to do that. And the reason I'm doing this is because Mandrills is really good in that it forces a 2-for-1 from our opponent if they want to try to get it off the table. And with only 2 cards in hand, drawing to 3, even with the filter of the Neonate avail, they don't have the liberty to be able to spend 2 cards removing one of our threats. It'll take them way too far away from killing us. Faithless Looting, good thing to discard a Mild Mongrel. In fact, I'm going to do that now. Will I still have other cards in hand to protect it from Bolt if I want to? You see that I am pretty random with what I choose Wild Mongrel to be the color of. Unless I'm playing against black and they have Doomblade, it really doesn't matter. There's nothing else that's played in the format I know of that really cares. Alright, so Searing Blaze does 3, so I can discard both my bolts to save it. I don't think that's necessary, though. The Hooting Mandrills alone should carry us to victory. Going to 8, them at 2 cards in hand. And they're dead on board if they can't gain life or remove this Mandrills, though, so... Also, they don't know that they're supposed to remove the Mandrills because they don't know I have a second bolt in hand. So they would have to remove the Mandrills, probably spending 2 cards before they even knew if I could finish them off, so... Let's see what they do. Sacrificing the innate to draw a card, okay. They discard a mountain to it. Alright, there's your bolt. Boom, okay, good, we won the race. Get the sideboard. So Feed the Clan is the obvious choice here. Gain some life. What do I take out? Tormenting Voices are kind of slow. Although any card draw is good because it helps us draw toward our Feed the Clan, so... Lightning Axe is a little bit iffy against Keldon Marauders being really the only thing. I don't want to have to use a Lightning Axe on a simple Neonate. So maybe I'll put those Feed the Clans in for Lightning Axes instead. Worst case scenario, I can always chump block the Keldon Marauders instead of remove it. And I think we will run it just like this. Looking for a Feed the Clan, or a very good hand. Alright, they kept 7. We're going to go turn 1 bolt, turn 2 bolt. Or turn 1 fetch, turn 2 multiple bolts, potentially. So this is decent against a Keldon Marauder's hand, but we have multiple Mandrills and no way to fill out the yard. We only have 1 creature that we can cast right now that trades pretty poorly with Neonate. And we have no Feed the Clan, so I'm going to mulligan this, despite it having lands and spells. Okay, we got to Feed the Clan. Now we just need to find a creature with power 4 or greater. So if we just draw another creatures, we're going to lose, but if we can gain 10 life of Feed the Clan, that gets us a huge amount of time. Chain Lightning hits us, okay. I'm going to fetch first to thin my deck, and I don't think I'm going to need a Lightning Bolt turn 1. I can always kill a Keldon Marauders on my turn if that's what they do. Alright, and that is what they do. Alright, get rid of that. There's a very small argument for Lightning Axing that and discarding a card there. It's better if I draw Hooting Mandrills, and Lightning Axe can't hit the face, whereas I could save the Lightning Bolt to hit the face, but I'd rather just be efficient. Bolt us. Needle drop us. Alright. We might be forced to just Feed the Clan for 5 instead of 10, if we can't find a creature. Alright, there's a Fiery Temper. I cannot not afford to take damage from that, so I'm just going to pop that off right now. And let's see if they have 2 burn spells in their hand. It appears they do, because they did not sacrifice the Neonate, so they're happy with their cards. More than a random card in their deck. Spike us to 8. Pass the turn. At least one of those is a burn spell. Alright. I really want to play aggressively and wait for the 4-power creature, but I would have to draw exactly Blood Mad Vampire next turn for that to be realistic, so I think I just have to Feed the Clan for 5 here. Alright, Root Walla dies to a bolt, and it enables their Searing Blaze, but I have to play creatures sometime. Actually, Searing Blaze, I know it targets both creatures. I'm not sure if it requires the creature. I don't think it does, because it doesn't get countered by the creature being removed. Bolt us, Needle drop us. They're still at 3 cards in hand. We're at 9. Curse of the Pierced Heart. Okay, so I might want to bring in my enchantment. Hate, potentially. Neonate of our own. I could discard that right away to try to get a 4-power thing. I think I actually need to. I'll give it 1 turn. because I want to pump this every turn as well. And so I want to have all my mana available when I sacrifice this. Curse this again. Alright, we are not winning this damage race. If I draw another Feed the Clan and somehow get a 4-power creature, maybe? Tormenting Voice. Okay, let's start with that. Bolts for days, okay. If they just draw nothing and we draw Feed the Clan, we could come out of this. We got 6 points of burn in hand and we're hitting them for 4 a turn. Spike us down to 1 with the curses. And Fire Blast us. Okay, well. Oh well. Couldn't draw any creatures, so couldn't provide a threat. Gleeful Sabotage, just for curses, is a potential. I could play it over Tormenting Voice or over Faithless potentially. But all in all, I don't think I care too much about it. So I'm not going to bring it in. Alright, we get to be on the play, which is great. And this hand is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. We got 3 creatures, so we are going to force them to use removal on our Blood Mad Vampires unless they want to take a ton of damage, so. Turn 2, I get the Tormenting Voice away a Root Walla. And then I get to go turn 3, turn 4, and then hopefully turn 5, Tormenting Voice, discarding something for Madness. Okay. Should I attack here? I don't think that I should. It cost me 2 mana just to trade off with the 3 life. It's going to be coming, so instead what I will do is I will cast Mongrel. And I will plan on chumping the Keldon Marauders with Basking Root while I gain 3 life. I could also discard 2 cards to the Mongrel. Alright, there's the Searing Blaze. So, first things first, discard the Root Walla for sure. And I can also discard 1 more card if I want to gain some life. So if I discard 1 more card, it means I get to keep the Mongrel unless they want to do something else about it. Alternatively, I can try to trade it off with the Keldon Marauder when it comes in. Alternatively, they might just leave back the Keldon Marauder to help them win the damage race. I really like having this mountain in hand is the problem. Because then next turn, even if this Mongrel is gone, like they bolted again, then I can mount in Tormenting Voice, discarding Blood Mad, which is pretty good. I guess I'll ditch a land. I could always draw another land. I don't really need more lands after the 3rd. Alright, 3 and 3. Let's see if Keldon Marauders comes in or not. Presumably it's going to stay back. Lava Spike our face. They're down to 3 cards. Alright, and they're staying back to block with that, okay? Alright, bolts. I'm going to hit that so I can actually attack this turn. And if they can kill me on their next turn, then good for them. But I'm going for this. I'm going to get blown out by like Trickery here, I guess, if they boarded that in against us. I'm not sure if they saw enough Blood Mads in the past and Basking Root Wallas to think that's good. In general, I wouldn't even suggest boarding that in against this deck, but obviously it'd be a blowout in this spot. It'd be a 3-for-1. Searing Blaze hits our Blood Mad. We drop to 7 against their 2 cards. So they don't have Bolt plus Fire Blast right now, or we'd just be dead. So I can either Tormenting Voice, discarding land, and then hope to draw another untapped land for discarding Blood Mad to Wild Mongrel. Or I could play land, discard these two to Mongrel, cast this one, and pump one Root Walla. I think I want to raise my chances of being able to find a Feed the Clan and cast it. Although that's not really consistent if I discard this, because that means I need to draw untapped land and Feed the Clan. I'm so confused. So I'm not going to try to Feed the Clan this turn. That would require Tormenting Voice, discard Vampire for the highest chance of that, and then keep the land in hand and draw exactly Feed the Clan, which is not going to happen. So I need to ensure lethal next turn then, and just hope that my opponent has one blank in hand. Because they're going to be drawing to 3, and 3 damage spells kills me. So how can I ensure that I can kill them next turn? Alright, so I think I'm going to go with this. This kind of strands my Tormenting Voice, but I'm going to try it anyway. Let's attack. Let's pump a Root Walla. Let's discard Blood Mad to Mongrel. And let's save the Tormenting Voice in our hand to be able to protect the Mongrel from a 3 damage spell here. Alright. And now they're super dead on board next turn, and they have to kill us this turn. Or before we untap, presumably. So if they just have 2 bolt equivalents, then they're going to have to remove Blood Mad at least. And if I pump both of these, that means they're going to have to remove one of these cards too. And if they have to spend 2 bolts removing our creatures, then we effectively win. They're thinking, which means that they probably don't have it. It's not that hard to count to 7 with 3 cards in hand and 4 untapped lands. Alright, so looks like they are going to have to remove the creatures. Chain Lightning on that. Alright, they need one more to burn one more removal spell. They could do it after we spend the mana on the Root Wallas. That would be fine as well. Alright, let's attack. Force them to burn another removal spell. There's 8. They have to bolt that. Perfect. I could take them to 7 here by discarding both the cards to the Mongrel. No point to doing that, though. Alright, they had to lose 2 removal spells. Now they're down to only 2. Alright, they have a chump blocker. Alright, what to do? I think I'll start with Tormenting Voice, Ditching Mountain. Alright, I got some more discard fodder for the Mongrel, I guess. These are both lethal threats. So they have to spend yet another removal spell on this Root Walla. If they don't have one, they can sacrifice Neonate, which they're doing now, to go try to find another one. And even if they remove this, they're in big trouble. Alright, they found a Fire Blast. Okay. This is blocked, so that's not getting in for damage this turn. Alrighty. Neonate is lethal next turn. Finding a burn spell is lethal, and they have to somehow deal 7 with 1 card. Alright, and we won the match. Perfect. Okay. So we went 3-2 overall. 2-1 versus Delver. Beat Burn and lost to Elves. That's a pretty good showing. I'm generally happy even with 2-3 for these kind of rogue decks, but 3-2 is certainly a pretty good feeling to get. Check out the article associated with this deck if you want to learn more. And don't forget to reach out to me at JakeStylesMTG on Twitter if you have any thoughts or ideas for decks for me to play in the future. As always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.